Multiplying decimals. The objectives in this lesson are 1. To multiply decimals, 2. To multiply a decimal by a power of 10, and 3. To solve applications involving decimal addition and multiplication. To multiply decimals, 1. Determine the sign of your product first. And remember, the product is just going to be the answer to your multiplication problem. 2. Ignore the decimal points and multiply. 3. Find the total number of decimal places in the original problem. And 4. This gives you the number of decimal places in the answer. Multiply negative 8.4 times 3.2. So notice that since our signs are different, the negative 8.4 and positive 3.2, our answer is going to be negative because our signs are different. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 8 is 16. We won't worry about the decimal points until the end. I need a 0 placeholder here. Now I'm going to distribute the 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Now I will find the sum. 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 2 is 8. 5 plus 1 is 6, and 2. And now let's see how many decimal places we have. 1, 2. So I will go 1, 2, and place my decimal point. So 26 and 88 hundredths. And my answer is negative because my signs are different. Don't forget that. Multiply negative 3.91 times negative 0.4. Notice my signs are both negative. They're both the same, so my answer is going to be positive. We'll distribute the 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. If I put a placeholder here, now I'm just distributing a 0. So 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. Just adding 0. Now we need to check to see how many placeholders we have. There's 1, 2, 3. And we already determined that our answer is positive. So we have 1 and 564 thousandths. Multiply 0.8 times 5.32. Notice both of those numbers are positive, so our answer is going to be positive. Since 5.32 has more digits, I'm going to put that on top. Ignore the decimal places or the decimal points until the end. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 2 is 42. And I have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So I have 4 and 256 thousandths. Multiply negative 0.354 times negative 1.7. I'm multiplying two negatives. My signs are the same, so my answer is going to be positive. I'll distribute the 7 first. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 2 is 37. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 3 is 24. Need a placeholder of 0 below the 8. And now I'll distribute the 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 3 is 3. Let's find the sum. 8. 7 and 4 is 11. 1, 4, and 5 is 10. 1 and 2 is 3, and 3 and 3 is 6. All right, count your decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then come down to your answer and count over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0.6018. Multiply 16.2 times negative 3.3. Notice my signs are different, so my answer is going to be negative. Three times 2 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Add your 0 placeholder. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So I have 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 and 8 is 13. And 4 plus 1 is 5. I have 2 placeholders, or excuse me, 2 decimal places. So my answer will be negative 53 and 46 hundredths. To multiply a decimal by a power of 10, 1. Move the decimal point to the right the same number of places as zeros in the power of 10. Add zeros as placeholders are needed. Add zeros as placeholders as needed. .35 times 1,000. There are 3 zeros in the power of 10. You will move the decimal point 3 places to the right. You will need to add a 0 to the end to get the answer of 6,350. Negative 1.2856 times 100. There are 2 zeros in the power of 10, so you will move the decimal point 2 places to the right. Make sure you put the negative sign in your answer. Multiply negative 53.473 times 10,000. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros in our power of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, so I place a 0 right there. Negative 534,730. Multiply 28.5 times 10. There's only 1 0 in our power of 10, so I'm moving it 1 to the right. So 285. Multiply 1.98346 times 1,000. We have 3 zeros in our power of 10, so I'm moving my decimal 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. To solve applications involving decimal, addition, and multiplication. Raksha will be traveling out of town for business. During her travel, she is scheduled to have 4 dinners, 3 lunches, and 2 breakfasts. Her employer will pay her for these meals at the following rate: $15.95 for dinner, $10.50 for lunch, and $5.95 for breakfast. What is the total amount Raksha will be paid for these meals? Notice she had 4 dinners, so we multiplied 4 times $15.95, so her dinners came to $63.80. She had 3 lunches at $10.50 each, so that's $10.50 times 3, which gives you $31.50. And then she had 2 breakfasts, and each breakfast was $5.95. So $5.95 times 2 is $11.90. So we have $63.80 plus $31.50 plus $11.90 for a total of $107.20. An ice cream vendor is opening 3 new stores. The rent is based on the square footage of the store. The square footage for the stores is as follows: Orlando, 580 square feet at $5.75 per square foot. Atlanta, 350 square feet at $6.75 per square foot. And in New York, 435 square feet at $4.75 per square foot. So we need to figure out what is the total rent for these 3 stores. So in Orlando, our building is $5.75 per square feet, and we have 580 square feet. So the cost of that building will be $3,335. I'm using a calculator. In Atlanta, we're paying $675 per square feet, and our building is 350 square feet. So that will cost us $2,362.50. And in New York, we're paying $4.75 per square foot, and our building is 435 square feet. So that building will cost us $2,066.25. So now we'll add these 3 together. And I'm going to use my calculator to help me on this. So I will pay $7,763.75. Review of lesson objectives. After completing this lesson, you should be able to 1. Multiply decimals, 2. Multiply a decimal by a power of 10, and 3. Solve applications involving decimal addition and multiplication.